Okay, so according to this graph, we can say D is smaller than 0, but A is smaller than 0 also. Okay, Raghav.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
For a graph, let's say this one graph or this graph. Now there is point arises. Whether whenever we have a graph, okay, of a quadratic equation, whether we can figure out for a single quadratic equation, single quadratic equation, there is only maximum or minimum point will be there. Understood? Let's say, according to this graph, as you know, the mouth opening is in downward direction, so A should be smaller than 0. Am I right, Raghav?
Yes.
Okay. And you can see that this graph having maximum point. Understood?
Yes.
Similarly, in this graph, because the mouth opening is upward direction, what's the value of A? What's the property of A?
It shall be greater than 0 because you get it. If x increases, the value of x squared increases.
Very good, very good, very good. Now, there is one more point here. When A is greater than 0, we only can figure out the minimum value. Am I right?
Yes, maximum value is just like will go on and on like infinite.
Yeah, good, good, good. Very good. So now I can write down, first of all, in the given quadratic equation, ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0, to figure out the minimum or maximum value, the step one is what? You need to figure out, wait,
A, B, C.
yeah, you need to figure out A is greater than 0 and A is smaller than 0. Accordingly to the possible value, if A is greater than 0, we will go for, so A is greater than 0, that means the mouth is opening in upward direction, then
Yes.
go for minimum value.
Yes.
Understood,
Because
Raghav?
maximum value will be just too easy for some people, and for some people the more they zoom out, the more they'll find it.
Yes, yes, yes.
So
That is one of the point, and yeah, okay,
and will nice fast.
yeah. Let's say if A is smaller than 0, okay, so we will go for, because A is smaller than 0, that means the quadratic, like the quadratic graph or the parabola is the mouth opening is in no, downward direction. Okay, we will go for maximum value.
Yes.
Understood? We will go for maximum value. Now there is a point. How can I figure out the minimum and maximum value in the
Yes.
graph?
Hmm.
Understood?
Okay.
Huh. Any doubt you have till now? Tell me.
I can explain everything once again to make myself clear that I have no doubt.
Huh? Sure, sure, sure. Tell me.
If A is smaller than 0,
Mm-hmm.
the only thing that will be make sense to find, or will the thing that will not like give or like answer that we will not be looking for, like infinite or negative infinite, is if the graph, if A is smaller than 0. The graph will be like downwards. It will with the maximum point we can figure it out.
Yeah.
If
Any
a is less than 0,
huh?
I mean if a is less than 0, I told what will happen, didn't I?
What?
If a is less than 0, then we'll find out the maximum point. If a is
Less.
greater than 0, we'll figure out the minimum point.
Yeah, that's it. Any doubt?
No.
Okay, 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 okay. Now, basically to figure out the minimum and maximum value, the formula is same. There is no any change in the formula. Okay, it should be the vertex. To figure out the minimum and
Max.
maximum value, we need to figure out the vertex of quadratic equation. Okay, sorry, quadratic graph. I will say quadratic graph or parabola.
Vertex. What do you mean by vertex?
Vertex, basically you can see that there is a point that is the maximum. That's a single point only. So that is called the vertex basically. Okay, when it's just moving and the point which turns the graph basically, that's the vertex or the
Yes.
parabola. Okay, now look very carefully. So to figure out maximum and minimum, we need to figure out the vertex of, okay, this one, this one. Now look, we have like how can we figure out the formula? So the it should be minus b by 2a and minus d by 4a. Minimum or maximum is at this point and minimum maximum value is this. Raghav, there is confusion. What's the confusion? Sir, what is minus b by 2a and d minus d by 4a? So look, I represented the parabola. I represented the parabola in the what? In the
You represented like the lower, like when the mouth is facing downwards, when the mouth is facing upwards.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's one of the point basically. But there is one more point here. What's the point? Just a minute. Yeah. The point is when I'm because I represented the parabola on the Cartesian plane and the Cartesian plane contains x-axis and y-axis.
Yes.
X for this one, x is always the input, y is always the output. Understood?
Yes.
When I will say figure out the maximum value, I am going to say what is the value for y. When I'm going to say where is the minimum value, where is the maximum value, I mean to
Suppose
say
let's say x is that value and you get is equals to fx. So when you ask what's the maximum value, you have to find out the maximum value of xx.
correct, 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 correct.